You missed a spot, old man, the young waiter sneered, lifting a glass of Coke high above the janitor's head. Then, with a twisted smile, he dumped the entire drink onto the man's bald crown, soaking his faded uniform and mop handle. Ice clattered on the tile. Laughter erupted from two other servers. The janitor didn't move. He just slowly blinked, letting the liquid trail down his face. Max Taylor had only worked at the Birchstone grill for 3 days. But he already believed he ran the place. Raymond Ellis, the man he just humiliated, didn't speak. He only bent down to collect his mop bucket. In a room full of waiters, chefs, and watching customers, no one said a word. What? Max scoffed to his manager, who stood frozen by the kitchen door. He's just a janitor. He's lucky we even let him eat here during shift. But the manager's face had gone pale. He turned to look at the silent man walking out the side door. His hands were still dripping. And Max didn't know it yet, but he had just poured soda on the wrong man. Raymond Ellis had been with the Birchstone since the first tile was laid. He'd mopped that kitchen when the ceiling was still exposed beams. But only a few people knew that. He never told the new hires. Never needed the spotlight. His role was simple: clean, listen, disappear. When he'd entered the staff dining hall that morning, he had just wanted a quiet meal in the back corner after mopping all night. His knees ached. His back throbbed. He still carried the calm grace of someone who'd seen war, raised 2 daughters alone, and never asked for credit. But some people only see the uniform, not the man. I'm not cleaning that up, Max had scoffed earlier, gesturing at a spilled tray. That's what he's here for. Raymond hadn't reacted. He simply nodded, grabbed his mop, and did what he always did: he served in silence. But Max hated being ignored. Especially by someone he thought beneath him. That's why, when he saw Raymond settle in with a sandwich during lunch hour, he saw an opportunity. An audience. A target. And so he struck. Loud. Cold. Disrespectful. One of the chefs muttered, "Dude, that's not cool." But no one stopped him. No one helped Raymond. He left drenched, Coke soaking into his collar. He didn't shout. He didn't plead. He didn't threaten. He just left. Back in the dining room, Max laughed and flexed for the kitchen staff. Hey, maybe next time he'll clean the floor faster. But the floor manager had already picked up the phone. And something shifted in the room, a quiet tension, a breath being held. The next morning, the entire staff was summoned for an urgent all-hands meeting. Chairs scraped. Whispers spread. Max strutted in, still smug. What now? Health inspection. Then the back door opened. Raymond Ellis walked in, not in his janitor's uniform, but in a charcoal gray suit and polished shoes. Behind him trailed 2 men from corporate, including Regional Director Angela Monroe. "Let me introduce someone," the manager said, voice tight. "This is Mr. Raymond Ellis, founding partner of the Birchstone Group and former COO." The silence hit like a dropped tray. Max's jaw unhinged. A waitress gasped, covering her mouth. The man he'd drenched with soda now stood at the center of the room, shoulders straight, gaze steady. "Young man," Raymond said, his voice smooth but sharp, "you didn't humiliate me yesterday. You humiliated yourself." Max sputtered. I didn't know. They said you were just a janitor." Raymond nodded slowly. "That was the idea." Angela Monroe stepped forward. "We have a zero-tolerance policy for harassment, verbal or physical. You're dismissed, effective immediately." Max turned pale. "But, wait, he didn't even say anything yesterday." "That," Raymond said, "was me giving you a chance to choose dignity. You failed." The news spread quickly through the company. A staff-wide email included a new internal motto: "Every uniform has a story." Treat them all with respect. Raymond didn't seek attention. He didn't speak to press. He returned to his quiet schedule a week later, not in the dining hall, but in a conference room overlooking the kitchen, helping advise the board on staff culture. But something had shifted. The dishwashers began saying hello with more warmth. One of the youngest waiters slipped a thank you note into his file folder. Max, meanwhile, was reportedly seen trying to reapply at another local restaurant. But the hiring manager there had heard the story. "No thanks," she said. "We don't tolerate people who confuse titles with worth." And though Raymond never raised his voice, the impact of that single moment, of soda, silence, and standing tall, left a ripple that no manager memo ever could. Weeks later, a handwritten note appeared on the staff bulletin board. No name, no title. Just 2 lines. If they think your job defines you, let them. But never let them define your worth. It was signed only with an R. Some employees stared at it longer than they expected. Others took a photo. No one dared take it down. And from that day on, the janitor's closet in the back hallway remained unlocked, its door freshly painted, its plaque replaced. Founder's room. Not because Raymond asked for it. But because the staff finally saw the man they never looked at.